Your anxiety isn't caused by your life. It's caused by your nervous system working exactly the way it's supposed to. And I know that sounds like the kind of thing someone puts on a poster in a waiting room, but stay with me, because what psychology has actually been finding, quietly, consistently for decades, is that the anxiety you feel when nothing is obviously wrong isn't random. It isn't irrational, and it is absolutely not you being broken. It has real origins, traceable ones, human ones. And once you understand where it's actually coming from, it genuinely loses its grip on you. Because here's the thing most people do when anxiety shows up uninvited on a perfectly fine Tuesday. They audit their whole life. Relationships, fine. Finances, okay. Health, nothing obvious. Career, manageable. And when nothing terrible turns up, they land on the worst conclusion possible. Maybe the problem is just me. It isn't. And this video is going to show you exactly why. Okay, so the first thing, and this one genuinely changed how I think about my own brain, is that your nervous system doesn't actually live in the present moment. Not really. Neuroscience research shows that the brain isn't primarily a present tense organ. It's a prediction machine. Its whole evolutionary job is to constantly run simulations of what might happen next and prepare your body for it before it arrives. So at any given moment, your brain is quietly running dozens of these little future projections. And the second any of those projections register as even slightly threatening, your body responds like the threat is already here. This is why you can wake up on a Sunday morning with absolutely nothing wrong and still feel that low, heavy dread sitting on your chest like an uninvited house guest who helped themselves to your coffee. Your brain isn't reacting to your life right now. It's reacting to a what if, a maybe, a projection it can't even fully name. It just knows something in its internal weather system shifted, and now everything feels slightly off for no identifiable reason. Here's the reframe I want you to actually try. Next time anxiety shows up and you can't find the source, say this to yourself: my brain is predicting something, not reporting something. That's it. That one sentence creates just enough distance to stop the spiral of hunting for external evidence of a danger that isn't actually there yet. You're not in danger. Your brain is just running weather forecasts with really outdated data. Now, the second thing, and honestly, this one humbles me every time I sit with it, is that sourceless anxiety is very often a body memory, not a thought. Trauma and psychology research keeps showing us that the nervous system doesn't just store experiences emotionally or mentally, it stores them physically, in the tightness across your shoulders, in the breath that never quite goes all the way down, in the low-level hum of activation that certain smells, certain seasons, certain dates can switch on without your conscious mind making any connection at all. Think about this. Someone who grew up in a home where autumn meant financial stress or tension or conflict, they might feel inexplicably anxious every single September without ever consciously connecting it to their past. Their body remembers what their thinking mind has already filed away and moved on from. The nervous system doesn't sort experiences into then and now the way our conscious mind does. It just feels. And what it feels is, this kind of moment has been dangerous before. Honestly, I find that both sad and strangely comforting at the same time. Sad because it means some of us are carrying weight we never chose to pick up. Comforting because it means the anxiety isn't meaningless, it's a memory of something that actually mattered. And memories, unlike character flaws, can be understood. So next time the anxiety shows up without an explanation, try gently asking not just what's happening now, but what this moment might remind your body of. Not to go digging compulsively through your past, just to give yourself the compassion of some context. Okay, third thing, and this is the one that surprises people the most. Sometimes sourceless anxiety isn't one big thing. It's 50 small things that stacked up quietly while you weren't watching. Stress psychology has a term for this: allostatic load, which is basically just the cumulative wear on your body and brain from ongoing low-level stress. A tense email, a slightly awkward conversation, poor sleep, skipped lunch, a long commute. None of those things would cause anxiety on their own. Each one feels completely manageable in isolation, but together, over days and weeks, they just stack. And then one completely neutral moment, a quiet evening, a slow afternoon, a perfectly ordinary Wednesday, is the moment your body finally goes, okay, we need to talk. You feel anxious at the most inexplicable time, not because that moment is dangerous, but because everything you've been carrying has finally got a chance to float to the surface. This is why so many people feel most anxious on weekends, on holidays, on the first day of a vacation they've been looking forward to for months. The nervous system has been white-knuckling through high demand, and the second it gets permission to relax, everything it was holding floods up at once. It's not that the holiday is stressful, it's that you finally stopped long enough to feel what was already there. So stop waiting for calm to decompress. Decompression has to go inside the busy, not after it. Fourth thing, and this one needs a moment of real honesty. Sometimes we feel anxious for no reason because we've gotten very good, expertly, masterfully good, at not feeling the reason. Psychology shows that people who grew up in homes where certain emotions weren't safe, where sadness meant weakness, where anger was dangerous, where fear made you a burden to the people around you, often develop what you could call emotional compression. The original feeling gets pressed down below the surface of awareness, but the body doesn't let it vanish. It converts it. And one of the most common conversions is into generalized, nameless, sourceless anxiety. The feeling that has no name is usually a feeling that once had consequences for being named, so it learned to hide its label. What's left is just the activation, the raw physical experience of an emotion with no story attached. I'm not saying go excavate your entire emotional history this afternoon. That's not a Tuesday project. I'm just saying next time anxiety arrives without an explanation, try asking whether there might be something underneath it. Not a threat out there in the world, but a feeling inside your body that hasn't found a safe moment to speak yet. Fifth, and I want to say this carefully because it's easy for it to land wrong, sometimes you feel anxious for no reason because you've simply someone who feels things deeply. Research in sensory processing and emotional sensitivity consistently shows that people with more finely tuned nervous systems pick up on more environmental noise, more interpersonal subtlety, more of the ambient emotional weather of whatever room they're standing in. They feel the undercurrent of a conversation, the weight of something unspoken, the general heaviness of a world that's producing a lot of signal at all times. That's not a disorder, that's sensitivity. And sensitivity, like any trait, has a cost. The cost is that you're rarely fully switched off. Your system runs more loaded than average not because of anything specific, but because of everything general. The world is a lot, and you receive more of it than most people around you. The answer isn't to try to become less sensitive. That doesn't really work and mostly just adds shame to an already full cup. The answer is to treat your nervous system like what it actually is, a high-performance instrument that needs more deliberate maintenance than a less sensitive one, not because it's defective, because it's doing significantly more work. And the sixth thing, probably the most counterintuitive one on this whole list, is that sometimes anxiety with no cause is simply physiological, full stop. Bad sleep, blood sugar crashing, hormonal fluctuations, too much caffeine, dehydration, the after effects of a sustained period of stress. All of these generate the exact same internal sensations as anxiety, and then the brain, noticing that physical signature, immediately starts hunting for a psychological explanation to match it. The body fires first, the story comes second. Psychology shows that the brain clocks an elevated heart rate, shallow breathing, physical tension. It starts constructing a narrative reason even when no reason actually exists. This is why you can drink 3 coffees, sleep 4 hours, skip lunch, and spend the afternoon absolutely convinced something in your life is about to collapse. Nothing is collapsing. Your blood sugar crashed, but your brain already wrote the story before you had a chance to fact-check it. So, where does all of this actually leave us? Somewhere much less frightening than where most people start when they feel this way, which is staring at a perfectly okay life and genuinely believing they must be fundamentally broken. You're not broken, not even close. Your anxiety is a prediction machine running on old data. It's a body carrying memories the thinking mind has already moved past. It's accumulated weight finding the first quiet moment to finally surface. It's an emotion that learned to hide its name. It's a sensitive system doing more processing than average. And sometimes, honestly, it's just a body that needs water and 8 hours of sleep before it can think straight. None of that is a flaw. Every single bit of it is information. And information, unlike dread, can actually be worked with. You don't have to solve this today, you just have to understand it a little bit better than you did before you clicked on this video. Because understanding your own nervous system, even slowly, even imperfectly, is one of the genuinely most useful things you will ever do for yourself. If this is the kind of conversation you've been looking for, honest, calm, no false reassurance, no talking down, you're exactly where you should be. Subscribe and stay close, because there's a lot more of this coming.